Welcome to this week's episode of the Oxford Real Estate Report. While overall sales activity was modest, the data beneath the surface tells a more nuanced story, one where high-end demand remains active, condos continue to show stability, and key policy decisions are shaping the future of growth in Northwest Oxford. Today, we'll break down what the last 7 days of home and condo sales reveal about buyer behavior, then shift to important Board of Aldermen actions that signal how and where Oxford is preparing to grow next. 7 single-family homes sold in the last 7 days. Median days on market was 103 days. They were sold at a median price of $925,000, $283 per square foot. It should be noted that 3 of the 7 homes sold in excess of $1,500,000 with a median price per square foot of $466. Takeaway: the presence of 3 home sales above $1.5 million signals high-end demand remains strong. There were 9 condos sold with a median sell price of $574,000, $270 per square foot. Median days on market was 74. A significant piece of data to note is that the median condo sold at asking price. Takeaway: condos continue to show relative strength and that this segment remains one of the most stable and liquid parts of the Oxford market. Let's take a short break, and when we come back, we'll discuss Oxford real estate news and local updates.
Today's episode is brought to you by Mississippi Asthma and Allergy Clinic, serving patients right here in Oxford, along with locations across the state. If allergies or asthma are holding you back, their team offers expert testing and personalized treatment so you can breathe easier every day. Call today at 662-236-7522 to schedule your appointment.
Welcome back. Let's dive right into Oxford real estate news. The Board of Aldermen conducted a first reading related to an annexing proposal of land located on the George G. Pat Patterson Parkway. This property is known as the Robert Edmister property. A portion of the tract is already within the city limits, while approximately 264 contiguous acres remain outside the city. As part of that process, the property owner has formally petitioned to annex the remaining acreage into the city of Oxford. Staff noted that the board has previously expressed a willingness to consider annexation of this property and reported that no issues have been identified with the proposed annexation. This item was presented for first reading only, and no final action has been taken. A second reading is scheduled for the January meeting, at which time the board may take further action. The next item concerns the approval by the Board of Aldermen of a plus or minus 10.4 acre property located just east of the Western Hills subdivision on the north side of Anchorage Road. This development is known as York Flats. It is planned for York Flats to offer 62 units consisting of 3 and 4 bedroom units. Together, these projects point to a clear theme: measured expansion in Northwest Oxford. The York Flats shows continued infill and edge of city development moving forward in a controlled way, and the Edmister annexation is a significant long-term signal. Bringing roughly 264 acres into the city limits would give Oxford future control over zoning, infrastructure, and development standards along the Pat Patterson Parkway corridor. Bottom line, one project reflects near-term execution, the other sets up long-term growth capacity. Both reinforce the city's preference for intentional expansion tied to infrastructure planning, not rushed approvals. That wraps up this week's episode of the Oxford Real Estate Report. Planning documents referenced today are linked in the show notes for anyone who wants to take a deeper look. If you value clear local insight into what's happening in the Oxford real estate market, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify, and share this episode with a friend, neighbor, or fellow property owner. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week.